Hey folks, welcome back to eXplorminate. I'm BattleMode, and this is episode 95 of my Let's Play series of Shadow Empire, playing on a Seth planet. Okay, so we are on round 147, and what I've done just before I started recording was I went through most of my SHQs, or all the SHQs, and just kind of like identified areas of concern. Now, I'm not doing too badly actually, but more eagle-eyed viewers might have noticed that, well, one, I'm kind of going backwards on food. Especially in the second SHQ, and secondly, we're throwing away a lot of water. Now, water's not that... It doesn't seem to be that much of an issue on this planet, I've got to be honest with you. However, I just thought that rather than throw it away, I'd actually mothball some of my ice mining facilities and wind traps and that kind of stuff. And instead, I'm starting to build some reservoirs so that, you know, we can sort of build some up. More of a thematic thing, really. I don't honestly think that it's going to be a real big problem. The other thing that I've done is I've tried to find... There was a couple of problem cities, okay, with regards to my logistics. One of them was Garnet. This is a city just like Artificial Biped, which is the other one I want to talk about, where I created it in order to prevent this what do you call it, the strain on your logistics, basically. Here we are. Hold on. Yeah, I forget what you call it now. Some kind of stress. Anyway, yeah, you get this kind you get this kind of logistical stress from having assets that are too far away, and so I built these kind of small villages, and it's really hard for you to actually keep anybody there. So what I've been doing is I've actually drastically increased the amount of money that they're going to be making, the workers. So I put this up to right up to 23 credits, which is 0.023 credits, which is pretty high. And that's, sure enough, that started attracting people in. You also need to have assets for them to work in, but I really needed the high-speed rail here because this logistical issue was causing a problem in my third SHQ. Where are we? At Gigwa. Now, Gigwa is also finally broken its logistical problem. Like, if you look at the bottleneck's actually gone now. Mostly. We still got this bottleneck here, but it's almost done. Like, the bottleneck was really, really severe, and now that we're starting to get more logistics in, we'll be able to fix this. But back to Garnet. So what I'm going to do is I just want to go in here now, and I've finally got enough people in there to be able to upgrade the city, which is great because we can actually upgrade the truck station size. So Garnet, small town, we're just going to upgrade that. I'm also going to do exactly the same at Artificial Biped. Firstly though, let's increase the size of the truck station here at Garnet. Because if we're going to be getting a penalty for moving from one truck station to another, we might as well be getting more trucks coming out of it. Okay, the same with Artificial Biped. This has been a real problem for the front. I mean, Carennon here is a really, really important city. It's a major city. It's huge. It's got loads of people in it. And I need to defend this, and I don't really have much here. We're just not getting any logistics through. The Artificial Biped desperately needs to increase the size of its trucks, and I've not been able to do so. Finally, we've hit that threshold now where we can actually upgrade to the level 2 town, I think it is. So I'm going to do that now. Upgrade to small town. There we go. So now we've upgraded that, we are going to be able to increase the size. We're actually building a rail station here. I might just put that on. I might pause that for a moment and actually increase the size of the truck station first, because I think it's going to come out quicker. Yeah, it should be 2 turns. So let's get this. We'll get the truck station up first. We should be able to build that, and we'll get the high-speed rail after that. Also, the high-speed rail is going to cost a little bit of money to actually. Yeah, look, this is going to be a bit of a mission. Yeah, 2,300 industrial points and 4,600 metal. It's more metal than we've got. So probably what we want to be doing is just kind of thinking about how, at which point I'm going to start building this rail. It's really expensive through the desert, as you might expect, because it requires all sorts of infrastructure to keep the sand off. So, okay, so that was 2 really important things. I think this will start to fix the issues that I've got with logistics now in this first part. Oh, sorry, in this southwest portion of my empire. Let's have a look what happened on the vidcom. So we discovered fuel, metal mining's removed, oil wells removed, Okay, so we're entering a decade of revolution. This one's kind of annoying. You need to keep your autocracy profile high, otherwise you start getting your commanders will start rebelling. This is kind of interesting because I think my empire is at that size now. You know, like Roman Empire size, where you're going to get corruption and ambitious leaders really starting to screw things up for you. So it's very thematic. Unfortunately, it lasts for absolutely ages. It's going to be about 40 turns, 50 turns, something like this. So it's a long time. Conquest acquired as a new zone, the neighbor. Okay, so we took the neighbor back. We've developed a new model, which is a destructor. It's not a particularly good model though. We've also discovered the monitor tank. Operationalized some stuff, and we've risen to tech level 9, which gives us a fate stratagem pack, and we've got a whole bunch of these cards we can use. I'm going to try and get over my fear of using the stratagem cards a little bit more as we go through, because I'm pretty sure that if I was a little bit more diligent with using the stratagem cards, I'd honestly do so much better. Let's watch the history. There's something very, very significant happened in this, which is very good for me. Now, you're not going to see it in the history necessarily, but I'm going to just let it play through. So here's Robosphere, just grimly hanging on. They've hung on for a long time, actually. And this is Montafel. So Montafel are now reacting to this big push that I've got in there, you know, on my western front. I'm trying to get an encirclement here. They've also started to rejig some of the troops over here on my northwest. But I think the issue here is, if you remember that we were having supply problems, well, it turns out that those supply problems aren't just in that area, they're right across their whole empire. Every single unit that I can see seems to be having supply issues. At least of some kind. You can tell because there's a little red barrel in the corner of the unit icon. Here's Carennon Pax just attacking Robosphere. And we've got Carennon Pax as well. Now, this is kind of getting to the point where I think that they're gonna start pushing me back. Look, they are actually starting to push me back quite severely here. Now, I need to get more troops down here, and I need to get better troops. And I think what that means is I need to get some tanks. I need some tanks for down here, and I need some walkers for here, because messing around, really, I've been trying to do the job of a combined arms force just with infantry for the most part, with a few tank support, and it's just not doing the job. As you can see, we're actually being pushed back right across the board by Carennon Pax. So yeah, need to get a hold on that, because those guys are certainly not suffering now. They seem to have got over their supply issues. We're holding in this desert though. Yeah, they've got a load of GR troops here. So they've attacked me with, although they seem to have lost quite a lot of them there when they're attacking me. So yeah, they are pushing me back, and they're pushing me back towards my supply lines as well. This is looking precarious now. This is looking like, got to be a bit careful here, because if they start moving into my supply lines, I'm in big trouble. What I might have to do is fall back. Meanwhile, in Tarefel, Tarefel start to react to the threat on their city. Now, if you remember in the last episode, I actually threw a whole load of infantry at this city trying to take it, and I couldn't get it. It was, it was too well defended. So now they attacked me with a bunch of tanks there and failed, presumably because they're attacking into an area that tanks aren't going to be much good in. Actually, I think those Phoenixes are an old model too. Finally, we've just got some aliens, which aren't that interesting to watch. These guys are not fighting me. These are, so we can just see what they're... Yeah, these guys, again, I'm really, really lucky that they didn't move into my supply line there. I think what I'm going to have to do is... I've got to deal with this situation. It's really... I think this has actually become... So this issue with Montafel leads me to believe... Let me just show you an example of what I'm talking about. So let's look at these. These guys are all struggling, look. They've all got this little red question mark, which means they are... We believe that they're less supply. We know this because their readiness is really low. Like their readiness is low right across the board. It's not just... It's pretty much every unit, look. They're kind of like sub 40 readiness. Well, those guys are a bit better. But look on this border here. Like 43 on this one unit. Now these are better prepared than some of the others, but they've got they're definitely suffering some supply issues. And look, we've actually got decent recon. We've got 1,000 recon on this square, and we can tell they've got no supply. They've got 0. So I'm going to attack them this turn. I'm going to push them off this square. And the first thing I'm going to do is going to use some of these Shining Star. I actually built last turn a tactical bomber air wing. These are not the most efficient. These were designed a while ago, right before Tarefel kind of educated me on what I'm supposed to be doing with them, and they've only got precision bombs, but they do well. They've got a really long range, and I'm going to build some more of these this turn because I want lots of them. Because I think that here what I need to do is I need to get some tanks, but I'm pretty sure that I think Montafel is actually ripe for the taking, at least for the moment. I don't know what's happened, whether they've run out of water, whether they're having severe problems with food. I don't know what the issue is. Part of what motivated my drive to kind of like get my water issues under control is because I want to stop selling it to the traders. I want to only be producing the amount of water that I need, because I think a good way of defeating your foes, like I've got most of the arable land now. I think I've got a lot of the arable land. I mean, there is more, look, and most of these can be used to generate water, but it's kind of good practice not to be flooding the market with too much water, because your opponents need it, and if you're selling it to them, then you're driving their economy, so you don't really want to do that. Okay, so you've seen the history. I've gone through and basically I'm building a whole bunch of reservoirs in a lot of these places. I've gone through and added, because I'm not actually making a whole lot of money at the moment. Like I'm actually I've got my negative cash flow, which isn't a big problem so much at the moment, because in 3 skills we're actually pumping out these machinery, and the traders are taking machines. Look, like I can sell like 17 machines, like 2,000 credits. So we can actually make a decent amount of money here, and if I don't mind sort of wasting some resources, I can kind of stimulate the economy a little bit by selling stuff back to them, buying things, selling things. You know, I could sell, say, some radioactives. I could sell some of these high-tech parts. I could buy bits and pieces, like, you know, okay, so I need some food. Well, okay, let's buy like 2,000 food, whatever, and then so you can do that. That gives the credit traders some more money. Then I can sell them something else, like, you know, maybe I can sell them some high-tech parts. This just gets the economy going a little bit. At least with regards to getting the traders to get some more money, because they've actually had no money, and there's been times when I've been in a bit of a bind where they've just not really had anything to sell. By the way, I desperately need more ammunition. Let's get a decent amount of ammunition for the first SHQ. Okay, next on is we're going to go for decisions. Food theft in Nottingham. Oh, let's start here. So government profile needs to reach 51. What are we on at the moment? No, I need enforcement. I want the tax bonus. So have a look at the Empire dashboard. Yeah, our word's not great at the moment. We're losing support, and that's only going to get worse as we go into this time of revolution. So, or this decade of revolution. 57. That's 10 rounds. I could probably do that, but I don't really want to. But I think I'm going to accept it anyway, because I need to get my word up. So, okay. I'm going to come back to model design. Operationalized target. There's so many of these. I don't know which one I want. I think I'm just going to go for the cheap one. I don't really care at the moment. Zone decisions. So we've got a food theft in Nottingham. Let's try interrogating them. No, critical failure. We lost money. And a massive amount of unrest. Okay, that was a terrible idea. Let's just give them money for this one. I want to keep my democracy rating quite high. Don't know if it needs to be this high. Marauders in Carennon. 7 political points. He's going to fail otherwise.
Aye, aye, sir.
Fail anyway. Marauders in Montafel. This is starting to get a problem. We're getting a lot of these. I mean, obviously, when you've got 50 or 60 zones, you're going to get a lot, but failure again. So I'm spending all these political points, look, and just not getting anything out of it. Quack Doctors. She can probably do this on her own. No, okay. I hate that one so much. Denebra is without leadership. So let's get a leader in. I don't know if this... I don't know how long we're going to hold Denebra, to be honest. It's nation, isn't it? So let's get a civilian and see what we can get there. Okay, he's got a decent administration skill, but probably could have done with better interpersonal. Doesn't like enforcement either. That's not good. See what else we can get. Mind you, we're really, really low on political points. Let's just put him in there for now. Tarefel are offering us a 400 credit gift. This is interesting. So, Tarefel, if you remember, are the guy. They're the empire in the south that we're at war with. These guys here. They've only got a little. They've only got a little empire look, but man, are they giving me some trouble. They are really. I don't know how they. You know. I don't know how it is that they've got the money that they have. I actually do need to get some spies in here now I think about it. I can't remember what was stopping me originally. I've got a decent guy as my Foreign Affairs Council or the Secret Service Council. I should be able to get some in. Let's see what we can get. It's a bit not looking good. Let's see if we can just get a smaller amount of spies in. Base is so slow. That's a bit better. Yeah, we succeeded there. Okay, so I managed to get 3 spies into Mavutri. So we'll have an idea a little bit later on of kind of what next turn. Sorry, kind of what they've got down here. But I don't know. They seem to be doing really well. I mean, I can't imagine they've got much more than this. I don't see how they can sustain much more than this. Even on this difficulty level, I think that they've got a lot of troops and a lot of material for such a small empire at this point of the game. I don't want to. I want to defeat them. I don't want to. I'm not going to accept a gift from those guys. I don't want to be winning this game through diplomacy. The game was already a little bit too easy at the start. So, Vitillo demands release of spy. Now we need to raise government, don't we? I think I'll take the political points. 6 political points at this point in the game is kind of important to me, especially since I'm kind of low. Our spies in Montafel have found info. I don't care. I'm not really bothered. I want to kill Montafel now. I'm not gonna make friends with him. Our spies in Gigare Pax found information. It's Commercial Citizens League that we want to keep in power there. We want the real politicas. Okay. Now, I had an idea that I wanted to start getting robotic infantry because I've not used them before. But honestly, I've got so many troops, I don't think I really need them. I'm just going to pause this for a moment. I'm going to have a bit of a think about what it is that I want to do here. I think I'm probably going to go for an aircraft, but if you just bear with me. If it is an aircraft, I'll probably figure out what I want just so that you don't go through the painful process of watching me trying to get the exact specifications. Hey folks, okay, so what I've decided to do is I'm going to build a medium aircraft with 2 engines, and I want something that can kill infantry, basically. I've already got something that can reasonably take out tanks and reliably take out tanks. That's the Shining Star 2. I actually want to create a tactical bomber now. So this is something that will be able to still strafe enemies on the ground. So here's how we go about it. It's forgotten all my settings. Okay, so I wanted a light turbojet, 2 light turbojet engines. We want a large wingspan. I think this was it. We want 500 litre fuel tank. We want a twin high-speed heavy machine gun. Oh, hold on a minute. I see what I've done wrong here. Oh no, that's right. And we want. I think I wanted the Yeah, it was the 5,000 kilogram load bomb hatch, which will be good for taking out infantry. There we go. So this is because of the large wings, it has a lower minimum takeoff speed. Now its maximum airspeed is pretty slow. It's only 200 kilometers an hour. That is a problem if they start using flak, but I don't think they're going to do that, to be honest. I could make these things. Let me just show you my thought process. So I could kind of make these things a little bit more expensive by having better engines, right? But we jump up from 12 rare metals and 2 machines to 16 rare metals and 4 machines, and even more industrial points. And I mean, I want a lot of these. I'd like to be able to have a lot of them. So I'm less bothered, I think, about the speed of them. At least while they're not using fighters, they don't seem to be using fighters, and they don't seem to have very much in the way of flak. So the other way that we could get around this would be if we could potentially drop the fuel tank size and the size of the bombs. Now that would be another way of doing it. These have got 1,000 firepower, and these ones here, and they've got 30 ammo, and these have got 1,650 and 50 ammo. It's the extra ammo that I really want. But you'll see this drops it right down to 11 hexes. I'm going to have to start thinking about putting up and that's just for a minimum, just a little bit more speed. So without doubling the cost, like effectively doubling the cost of the aircraft, which is going to, and it's the machines and the rare metals that are the problem. I don't really want to do that. They're not really. I don't think they're using much flak, to be honest. The alternative is that I drop the wingspan down, which means it needs to be faster to take off, but it'll be lighter. But I don't know. I think I like this model here better. It took me absolutely ages to come up with this, by the way. I was just sat there for about 25 minutes just kind of trying to figure it out. But see, this has got a really long range, which is what I want. My air bases take a while to build. Level 3 air bases, which are required for these level 3 aircraft. It's just slow. I think that's quite slow, 200 kilometers an hour, which means that it is going to be vulnerable to flak. If I start losing them in droves, I'm just going to upgrade it, basically. But that's what I'm going to do. So we'll go for that one. And that's it. That's it with the decisions. So I think what I'm going to do is, without further ado, I'm going to just get straight into moving everything. So let's start down in the east, as I usually do. I don't think I can do a whole lot around here. I might be able to jump in and take this. Yeah, I think let's do that. Let's just take up this unit, and we'll gain ourselves a little bit more territory. There we are. Look, I don't think he's going to counterattack me, in all honesty. I think he's really unlikely to. So really, all I need to be doing here is just keeping like the enemy just kind of like locked into this. I mean, look, he's only got 2 squares left. He's lost his town. He's only got here, this little bit here. This is aliens, I think. This is Regalis. So he's really just got this bit of space here. And Carennon Pax are going to pick that up, no doubt. Okay. Let's have a look what's going down in this area. Yeah, this is the battle for Picard. And it's proving kind of troublesome to get at. Yeah, they're even a little bit low on supply here. So yeah, this is not looking great. I kind of want to get a circle. I want to encircle here. The problem is that this square here, this agricultural territory, is tanks get a slight penalty for attacking it, but not a whole lot. That said, he doesn't have a huge amount of tanks left now, and I've got a lot of troops. But I don't have anything that's really that great against defending against tanks. Why am I saying this? Well, the idea was I was thinking about jumping into here and taking this square here, and then I've got a full surround on Picard. It might make it a little bit easier to take out. There is the opportunity, if I can push through here, to bring some tanks in this way to do this job. I have lost a lot of troops on this I'm not sure about my chances getting in here. Look. Interface acting a little bit slow. They're pretty well entrenched. They're on no retreat as well, which means that I'm going to really struggle getting in here. And they've got stuff in there that my troops aren't doing so well getting through. I mean, we're still using Soldier 4, look, which are automatic rifles. That's part of the reason why we're struggling here. These guys are doing a little bit better. Might see if I can send those in. So this is the 28th Infantry. Maybe if I put the 28th on... let's get them in on all-out attack, which is gonna really make them much tougher. So I'm gonna move this guy in here, and let's see if we can get... yeah, this is looking better. Look, the odds are looking a lot better. So if these guys are on all-out attack, and then I'll be able to defend them with the core size unit. Yeah, looks like we got it. We did lose some troops though. Oh no! Oh, we failed. Okay, that's unfortunate. Fortunately, I reckon I'll be able to follow up with these guys now. They should have lost most of their entrenchment. Come on. Okay, I think we got it. Okay. Again, kind of another fairly costly thing to do, but now the 28th, they're on all-out attack. Might just leave them there. Let's get the 11th on. We've got loads of fluid defense, haven't we? Let's get these guys on fluid defense, which will help them no end. I'm going to move those. Probably shouldn't have done that. Okay, that'll do. Way. And then we've basically got this city completely isolated. Yeah, I think I'm going to move these guys up here. I'm going to get those guys there, so we've got an opposing modifier when we do finally attack. I don't think, yeah, with what I've got left, especially with the multiple OHQs involved. I mean, he's saying 7-1 there. Let's try it. See if we can get that. I'm not confident of this one. Okay, we're killing a lot of troops. No, we've not made it, but I think we've killed a lot of troops. Get out! Yeah, we killed a lot of troops, and we didn't really lose much ourselves, so I'm pleased with that. That's okay. I think they are going to be... yeah, they're on no retreat. That's the only problem. I think next turn we'll be able to take this, providing they don't see, unless we suffer a severe counterattack. But I think we're probably going to be all right there, especially since we're on fluid defense. These guys are going to be quite difficult to dislodge, even with their, like they've only got rifles. But let's just get these aliens down here, just so we've got something down on this end. Now, I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to hold the neighbour here. I did actually just I moved a troop in just before the thing started. Why are all these? Pretty sure I didn't move those. It's odd. Anyway, it looks like I actually moved this before I started recording, but I don't remember doing that. Apologies, guys. Okay, let's see what we can do about. We really need to kind of support taking Picard here. At the same time, we've got this line to hold. I did move these guys out from here because the reason why I did that off camera was because they were in an area of really poor supply, and I didn't want to forget. Okay, let's get these. Some bombardment. didn't really do much, but it's a fairly small unit, to be fair. Now, I'd kind of changed my plans for these guys, hadn't I? I was thinking about... You see, one thing I want to point out, we are actually now getting... Because Gigare is starting to get more logistics down this way, and we're actually getting... We're getting a decent flow of logistics down this way. Now, it's kind of like blocking off here. I can't remember why I was doing that. But there is a little bit of a blockage here, but that's not it's we're still getting a, you know, trickle through even after everything. So let's get these into Deneba so they can actually start defending it. Move this HQ forward, I think. Okay. Yeah, these guys, I was going to retreat them, but I think now they're actually... I can probably move them up here and start getting some replacements for them. But they do need to be replaced. I'm not sure if we can do it here. Yeah. Okay. So we can actually get some replacements in for these guys. I think what I might do is... I think the Soldier 6 are probably good enough here. They've got less hit points in the battle dress, but for the most part they're like on the offensive they're going to be pretty similar. So let's get these replaced. I'll do it with mass replace actually. Oh, I've got Soldiers 4 here. Yeah, I think I'm going to mass upgrade those. Soldier 6.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We upgraded 700 troops there. And we got Soldiers 5 as well. I'm going to do the same thing to those.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I don't think we got any there that time. Just see if we can get the 0 gun. Sometimes it'll say you can do it and then you just don't.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 0 units. Look, I guess there weren't enough logistic points in some of these areas. It'll just be these guys that were able to do it. No, we didn't get it. Okay, I think there's going to be a bottleneck now. It's probably a bottleneck here at Gigwa. I'm assuming that these guys are actually 2 SHQ. Yeah, it is Gigwa. It is their SHQ. Okay, back to the battle. So 29th. These guys are kind of spread out. 1, 2. See where those are. Here. 3, 4. And then we've got another unit attached to them. Siege infantry. It's interesting. What did we attach to them? 6. Oh, 4th Independent Infantry Battalion. Okay. Okay, that's okay. This commander's not very good though. It's probably not the best place to attach them to, but never mind. Let's move them in anyway. I want to... These guys, again, I'm going to probably... I'll get those guys out and replaced. Or replenished. I kind of feel that we're getting to the point now where we are starting to threaten them a little bit more. Like, I wonder if I can kind of push them up this way. Let's see if we can... Ooh. Okay, we push them back. No casualties. It doesn't help that they're on... they seem to be set to all-out attack, which is probably not the best thing for them. So let's see if I can kind of get even further around them here. See if we can kind of start to threaten a bit of an encirclement here. That will put the willies up them, I think, because... No, I don't want to do that. Not with so few action points. Now, where are their tanks? Their tanks are there, so let's get these tank guns in there. try and attack with these.
Engaging enemy.
Oh, we're not going to do it. No, they're too strong.
Requesting backup.
But yeah, I don't know what my logistics is going to be like there. Probably not great. I think I'll keep those tanks there in defense. See, I don't think they've got enough here to actually push through any of these lines, especially if we're sat on kind of defensive formations. Minus 50 on overall defense. Okay, I don't want to do that, so let's get those guys off siege, and I'll stick them on defense instead. So these guys are going to be holding the line a little bit better. They're on entrench, which is fine. Gives them a nice entrenchment bonus. Yeah, okay, so you can see what I'm kind of trying to do here. I'm trying to push in on this side, and this kind of this threatens, you know, all of these guys essentially. If they think that I'm going to try and get around, what they'll do is they'll probably move their troops up here now, and we'll be forming the second battle line. I've actually, they've still got quite a lot of troops here though. This is risky. I think what I'm trying is kind of risky. If I can get through here. I've got anti-tank gun. Oh no, lost the general. Yeah, never trust the odds, man. If we can get him with infantry. That's better. Should have gone in with the infantry first. Anti-tank guns are there to do a job, and...
Get out!
Oh, it's a standoff. Okay. Fair enough. So... Okay. I do need more tanks down here, I think. I think I might try and get some at Gigwa if I can. I wonder what the chances are of me actually building some here. I think probably 0. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, we can't get much. Can I get them at Gigwa? Yes, is the answer to that. Although tanks, maybe not so much. What we want is a heavy tank regiment. Metalhead 2s though, and what we are, this is the problem. We haven't got enough metals here, so I don't know if we can transfer any. I'm not even sure if Meta Mountain has that many. No. Well, there's SHQ, yeah. So got to be a bit careful because we can't really like tanks are a bit of an issue here, as in the lack of tanks. I think I'm going to leave that like that just to see where we can go with it. Yeah, we might find that we take some losses as they start pushing back, but yeah, this has become one grindy war, I tell you. I love this stuff as well. I really like things when they start kind of getting. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you guys don't think that's interesting, but I think it's really cool. I think I must have forgotten to move these last turn. I want these guys moving towards... I don't know. Am I going to need them in Montafel now? That was the original plan. I think I'm going to move them towards the war in Carennon Pax. See if we can move those guys that way. And we might be able to strat move them as well. Yeah, maybe... What, should I move them down here? Might be a good idea. Plenty of truck points. Well, we did have plenty of truck points. HQ down. Okay, we can't move anymore, unfortunately, but Yeah, that's about it. I've got that's actually a sizable force. Now, what we really need is some more walkers, and if we can get some, I mean, look, I actually built some here, with the intention of actually replacing. Yeah, we've got no logistical points, so I will wait till next turn. I'm relatively sure that we're going to start getting some supply down here soon. I could move them a little bit further up if we can get. No, we can't. So yeah, once we've got, I'd like to get some more of these walkers because the walkers are really, really powerful. Okay, so that's that moved. I think everything else in the sort of center of my empire is pretty. It's just going along, ticking along hunky dory. So let's have a look over this side. Now this side is not looking good. Look, these guys are starving again. They're just going to have to stay there. I can't afford to have them move. And there's nowhere for them to go. So the only thing I can really do is maybe somehow try and take some of the pressure off them by moving some more troops out. See if I can get in with these. Try and kill some troops, at least to sort of dissuade them from coming any closer. And you know, the cynic in me thinks that the less troops we've got, the less we have to feed. Which is a really horrible idea, isn't it? But I don't know. Sometimes needs must. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep these guys in defense. Mind you, blockers in sand is not. Yeah, we're going to get a big defensive modifier penalty there. Let's move those guys back. I think I'm gonna move them back to where they were. This is this is kind of hairy at the moment, this situation. I'm hoping that I can get these troops in time to be able to relieve them. It's the troops it's not so much the troops that are the problem. It's the I'm going to fly these guys. I'm going to fly these over here as well. It's not the troops that are the problem. It's the logistics. It's the same with this. Like these troops were capable enough to hold themselves here. The issue is that they weren't getting any logistical points. These actually got supply, which is useful. I could change the supply priorities for these. I think you can do that. This is not something I've really done, to be honest. Where do you do this? Like, man, I've been playing this game so long. Just this one campaign I've been playing for hundreds of, like, you know, 150 hours or something now. And yet there's still stuff in the game that I don't know how to do. Okay, let's get these guys up this way. Are these guys still on all-out attack? They were. Yeah, they're on all-out attack, so... Okay, let's remove these GR things for these tanks first. Oh no, I can't believe they didn't manage that. Let's see if we can take them out. No, I don't like taking on pillboxes with infantry. That's going to hurt. I do want to be clearing these troops through, though. Come on. Yeah, there we go. That's better. This is a really costly way of fighting with using all-out attack. We are going to lose troops. Yeah, and you're going to start losing veteran troops as well, but I've got to push these guys back. Okay, got more tanks here. Okay, that did the job. That's better. Now, we've got an alien invader. Yeah, he's surrounded there. Let's just attack them with this HQ unit. A bunch of tanks should kill those pretty easily, I'd expect. Okay, they surrendered. Good job. Just pull them out of command range. That wasn't the smartest thing I've ever done. I think these aliens are they're gonna become a real bother for me if I don't do something about them soon. Can I get these guys strap moved? Yes, I can. Right. Okay, not that one. So they're going to charge all up here if I'm not careful. So let's get these up here. They're like, as they are, they're not strong enough to get round me. Or they're not strong enough to defeat me in combat. But they can just kind of like sneak through and start cutting off your supply lines, which is really, really annoying. No, we can't get in there. I want to do that. Is this division size unit that I was intending to kind of use to replace these guys? I think that's a good idea. I'm still not 100% sure if it is. This part of the war is like, we are pushing towards Chaudmont here, and now, yeah, these guys aren't, they are struggling, but we're also struggling. I think honestly I've got to think about this a bit more carefully, because definitely got to start thinking about protecting the areas that I've taken. To see if they've got anything down this way.
Birds are in the sky.
Yeah, there's that look. So I'm glad I looked there. Let's get those into that position there. I think I'm going to move back one of these back. Got those anti-tank guns in. Walkers can't move, look. No, they're too low on fuel. Oh, they can, they just can't, they can't attack. That's the problem. Now, we are getting a little bit of supply here. I'm going to move these guys back into a area where they've got more supply. Go for an artillery bombardment again. I wonder why we're not getting any hits there. I'm not sure what the problem is there, but okay. Let's move this HQ a little bit closer. Yeah, at least they're kind of guarding this. So are my supply lines guarded? I think so. Seems like a waste back with it. That's just one alien there. I think I'll leave that. I think it's even worth. They're not even worth wasting the fuel on. All right. Okay, he's going to go and sit over at Montbier. Montauvier. Or Montauvier. Now we've got these rockets. Forget what rockets are best at fighting. Are they... Yeah, they can do soft attack as well. Not particularly great at it. Let's get some of these missiles loosed. Okay. Okay, we push those guys back. bit too tough for us, those guys, so... These are a bit low on supply. Let's move these guys back into where they can get some. Have to move those uppers a bit closer. Alright. Now, we've got this... I forget what these guys are. The 36th Machine Gun Infantry Brigade. They were going to be used to kind of hold the walls of a pocket. So I'm just going to think about what we've got going on here. This is all Reservoirs packs, so they're not going to go through that, I don't think. So we've got Pacifica. We can probably take this turn. It's saying tanks are going to do the job. 133 recon points. Let's get some more recon on there.
Birds are in the sky.
See if there's anything else hiding in there. No, okay. What are they? Yeah, they've got some decent defenses. Yeah, look, the odds have actually changed now. Let's get I'd rather get more troops in there. Okay, that's done it. Did lose some of the 50th Machine Gun Battalion, but that's okay. So, I got an escarpment here as well. It's really helpful. I might get those destroyers in there. And I want to kind of continue with this blitzkrieg if I can. So we've taken Pacifica. Now that was a big goal for this. Now whether I can hold it or not is the thing. But honestly, I think that Montafel are having real problems. Now these guys, yeah, again, look, you might find that we can just, because of these supply issues they've got, they have got quite a lot of. I don't want to be attacking with tank destroyers. Okay, these guys could potentially come down this way. There's an escarpment there. Yeah, into the north. So I'm actually going to get these guys sat and have them sat along this escarpment, I think. Let's get the aliens back. Maybe I can like do this. Yeah, okay, that's worked. Look, they've got negative 75 supply. They're just they are really, they look like they're in a real bad way supply wise. Okay, let's get these tanks. I'll just set them in Pacifica in case they do try to make some kind of counter attack. I'm thinking not. Unless I'm very much mistaken, I think that Montafel are in real dire straits here. Which means this is a great opportunity for us to really kind of punch through. So let's just get our... I think I'm going to do this this blitzkrieg stuff first, so I can kind of figure out... Yeah, they have moved back as well. Yeah, they've pushed back and formed a line along here as well because they know that they've lost this area. Just make sure we've got supply. Yeah, we've got plenty of supply. I think I'm going to move these guys over here. Okay. The reason being is because we've now got Mayflower. Now there's not they're mainly militia, but I do need something just to guard them. If they just come in and start rampaging around in my supply lines, battle mode is going to get upset. Gonna move these guys across this direction. This side. Something like that. Side of the 20th needs to hold up this side. Okay. Let's see if we can push through here. Okay, they're actually sat in mountains, so no is the answer to that. Yeah, we might be able to threaten getting round them on either side here. Okay, we've got these blockers on this side. Now, Blitzkrieg, let's see if I can get through here and try and punch through these guys. We've got metalheads and metalhead 2s. And a whole bunch of enemy tanks. I think we need to neutralise them. Because they've got the... I mean, they don't have much fuel though, so... No escarpment that side either. Let's try and get at them from that side. Yeah, whatever it is that's going on with their supply, whether it's fuel, whether it's ammo or food, this is an opportunity to fully exploit that, I think. Because they're not able to fight back. Oh, look at that. They just all surrendered. They all surrendered in the first turn. Let's have those blockers attacking in on these guys. Some infantry.
Open fire! Open fire!
Yeah, again, 68 fuel. They or 68% fuel. They're struggling. They're really struggling. Okay, infantry, mechanized infantry. See if we can follow up on these. These are going to be absolutely wrecked now. Okay, we didn't have enough action points really to capitalize on that. Let's try and push some more troops in this way. Ah, might be able to get a pocket here. Got it. Awesome. Okay, that looks risky, but what I'm doing here is I'm going to try and cut off their supplies. Now they have got this line here, but I think this is, yeah, again, they're obviously really low on supply. Do I dare do this? I think I do. Let's get these 2 HQ units sat there. I think these guys are so low on supply that they're gonna fold. I'm gonna move these choppers up. I might move some over on this side, so we've got some for this. This is where they've got more troops on here, and even these guys, look, they're just low on supply. So Montafel are having problems, real bad problems. And I think these problems they're having are so bad they might not recover. No, we can't do that. Militia, what are they going into? Just leave it. I'm not going to mess. I'm not going to faff around too much with these. I think we're about done there. Oh, we do have some 80 battalion that I built. I'm going to leave those at Westguard. I was worried. I was thinking, man, I really need to protect this supply line here, but at the moment, I don't know if I do. What we do need to do is get some roads. So let's get some more sealed roads up this way. No connection to SHQ found. Okay, so let's connect this up to Pacifica. Right, okay, we can do it that way. I think I'm going to go that way, like that. Oh, why can't I do this? Okay, it's saying no connection to SHQ found. I'm not sure why. Yeah, I can do it from there, look. Now, I've got to be a bit careful of this spaghetti, this road spaghetti, so... yeah, look, this is where your AI kind of... He gets pushed back, he builds more roads, you know, for his supply lines. I'm gonna have to sort some of these out. Okay, so I'm just setting it so that it's mostly just pulling, you know, so using the pull system to pull it through. I should be able to get. I think we should be able to get enough. Yeah, there we go. Look, we're pretty much supplied right through here. Supplies are going to become a problem here. I think I do predict that we're going to have supply issues. So we are taking a large amount of territory very, very fast. But now that we've taken Pacifica, we are pushing on last camp, and then we've got this Zoetal here. We are close to cutting Montafel in half. So I don't think they've really got much down this way. In fact, yeah, they've only got this. So Montafel have got quite a lot of territory, but I don't think that they're going to be able to do much. Okay, now let's get on with this last bit. So, this tactical bomber wing, I'm going to actually attack here. So hotkey X, and let's attack on this bunch of tanks. Not bad, and these are a model that, you know, they're kind of inefficient, so that's not bad at all. Next, we're going to attack him with these tanks. So we're going to get the tanks and the walkers and see how we do here.
Do it now.
Yeah, look at this. Absolutely crushed them.
Mission accomplished.
I think honestly with that is I don't know. I don't want to be too hasty, but I think these guys are about finished. Honestly, don't really see how they're gonna come back from this. Just get a bunch of these guys all moved in. Oh, I also want to build a road here now as well. I'm no longer in any fear that they're gonna break through. I think it was a wise precaution that I came out with there, but we've got some more Fury 3s here too. And artillery, yeah, we got all the stuff. So now what I want is more tanks. If I can get like an armored brigade and a mechanized infantry, and then a few more small infantry brigades, that should be enough to handle this invasion here. It doesn't look like they've got a whole lot up this way. And yeah, let's get this road connected up. Sorry, let's just have a look at where we are. Okay, so that's that. I've actually just spent a lot of money. I didn't mean to do the sealed road, but that's fine. We'll get more supply through it that way. There we go. Look, we're actually getting some supply, and I don't know if we can take this now. Yeah, we can't join. I can join those up like that way. Again, kind of expensive on the old industrial points, but I think we're in war and we need to use our resources. So yeah, the invasion of Montafel has truly begun, and we're hitting them now from the north and from the south. It's really a pincer movement. Now what I want to do is get more of these aircraft, because I was impressed with that. I think they're well worth building. We are going to have an airbase number 3 up here soon. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build them here so they're a little bit closer. Because 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we'll be able to hit right as far as Reservoirs. So let's get those out. Base formation. Tactical bomber wing. There we go. And they should be able to launch next turn. And I'm going to actually have them under the admin of the Air Command. Oh, that's the fighter squadron. They're a bit too far away, look. I suppose what I could do is actually move the air wing up this way. There we go. Now they're actually getting some. Okay, so those shining stars should be ready to go next turn. By the way, these guys were only at 55 readiness when they did that attack. They would have done a lot more damage if they were at 100. So it takes them a little while to actually settle into the combat. You might well find that my troops have actually pushed these guys back by the time that they're at their full readiness, which is possible. Okay, I think we're about done there. I don't really have much more to do. There might be, yeah, I mean, I could probably go through and just kind of play some cards here and there, but I think for the most part I'm done. Okay guys, thanks for watching that episode. I hope you're still finding it fun, and like last episode, I think it was last episode, I was like, this might be like a 900 episode bloody series, but no, I think I don't know. I get the impression now that Montafel are actually falling pretty quick, and even if they by the way, this happens as well with Carennon, and Carennon are making a nice little comeback. So, but if I can grab basically a whole bunch of this territory quick, we are in a good position. Then it's going to be a matter of reinforcing the lines down here and getting my logistics points good enough that I can actually continue the warfare into here. And if I take all of this, it's game over. I've won. I don't think even Carennon Pax will be able to get within the 25 point margin that they need in order to stop me from winning. We just go to the victory overview. Look, I'm actually starting to pull away from them. So we need a victory points of 50 or higher, and your closest competitor has to have a victory points of 25 less than me. So they're already 25 less than me. Look, I mean, 25 would take them to 30. Sorry, 40, and we're on 41.7. So we're already ahead of them with that margin. We just need to get up to the 50%, and I think crushing Carennon Pax and Montafel should do that. Hopefully, I won't ever have to go to war with Gigare. Okay, guys, I will catch you in the next episode. Take care.